What if Muzan Kibutsuji was never the original demon? What if, instead, the fearsome Upper Moons took his place right from the start? How would their special abilities and scary powers change their fight against their weakness to sunlight? Let's dive in. Let's start with Upper Moon's 6 siblings, Daki and Gyutaro. These siblings didn't just stumble into the dark side. Their backstory is as grim as it gets. Born into the brutal slums of the entertainment district, their life was anything but glamorous. Gyutaro, marked by his disfigured face and venomous attitude, took on the world with a blade, while Daki, once known as Ume, faced relentless cruelty that twisted her heart and soul. Their transformation into demons was less of a change and more of a dark evolution, shaped by their harsh realities. Now let's flip the script. What if these two were the original Demon Kings? First off, their rule wouldn't be your run-of-the-mill reign. It'd be a chaotic theater of revenge. Think less about royal decrees and more about settling scores. With their combined hatred for humanity fueling their every decision, Daki and Gyutaro would likely turn their demonic realm into a nightmare factory, turning out horrors with one goal in mind: make humans suffer as they did. Their strategic play? The mythical blue spider lily. This isn't just a pretty flower, it's the golden ticket to daywalking powers for demons. Obsessed with finding it, Daki and Gyutaro would probably crank this quest up to 11, using every demon under their command to hunt down any clue. But here's the twist: they're not exactly masterminds. Their plans are more about brute force and terror than any clever strategy. This means they'd be smashing into Demon Slayer defenses like a wrecking ball, not a scalpel. The constant attacks led by Daki and Gyutaro would definitely shake things up for the Demon Slayer core. Imagine demon raids becoming as regular as clockwork. This relentless pressure would force the Slayers to evolve rapidly. New fighting styles, better weapons, tighter teamwork. Think of it as a crash course in anti-demon tactics, spurred on by the chaos these two unleash. Next up is Gyokko, Upper Moon 5. Not your typical demon. This guy takes his obsession with beauty and art to the extreme. In the Demon Slayer series, he's known for his twisted sense of aesthetics, creating macabre art pieces from the bodies of his victims. He's kind of like that artist who only paints in shades of nightmare. His pottery skills are legendary, but let's be honest, you wouldn't want any of his art in your living room unless you're into the whole creepy decor vibe. Now, let's toss Gyokko into the spotlight as the king of demons. The demon world under his rule would resemble the most disturbing art gallery you could ever imagine. Think big here. Landscapes crafted from twisted human forms, forests of statues that were once alive, and rivers that might just be a little too red to be water. Every demon attack under Gyokko's command becomes a chance to add new masterpieces to his collection. Human and demons alike are potential canvases, and Gyokko is all too happy to paint his next grotesque masterpiece. This artistic tyranny makes Gyokko's reign particularly chilling. His attacks aren't just deadly, they're creative. Each assault is unpredictable, not just when or where it happens, but in what bizarre form it will take. Will the next strike turn a town square into a horrific sculpture garden? Or will a quiet village wake up to find itself part of a living mural? For the Demon Slayer core, this unpredictability is a nightmare. Traditional tactics go out the window when you're dealing with an enemy who thinks like a deranged artist. Standard battle formations and strategies? Useless. Gyokko's unpredictable and artistic flair forces the Slayers to adapt in ways they never had to before. They need to think like artists, or maybe art critics, analyzing patterns and trying to anticipate what form Gyokko's next art piece will take. Moving on to the Upper Moon 4. Hantengu from Demon Slayer is quite the character. His defining trait is cowardice, but his unique ability is a game changer. He can split into multiple forms, each representing a different emotion. This isn't just a cool party trick, it's a formidable power that allows him to adapt to various combat situations, making him incredibly hard to defeat. Each form, from fear to anger, has its own strength and tactics, turning Hantengu into a one-demon army. Imagine Hantengu taking over as the Demon King. His reign would be anything but stable, dominated by his overwhelming paranoia. Trust issues? Hantengu wrote the book on them. He'd likely see potential threats and betrayal everywhere. His solution? Use his splitting ability to the max. He wouldn't just create a few forms. He might spawn enough to govern different regions, each embodying aspects of his paranoia and other emotions. This approach leads to a demon world that's as fragmented as Hantengu's personality. Each region would be under the sway of a different emotion, creating a patchwork of territories that hardly ever see eye to eye. Imagine one area driven by rage, another by fear, and yet another by deceit. It's like having a bunch of mini-dictators, all with their own agendas, all thinking they're the real boss. For the Demon Slayer core, this presents a bizarre and complex challenge. On one hand, the demons are not united, which typically would be an advantage. However, each fragment of Hantengu operates with its own strategy and tactics, turning what should be a straightforward fight into a guessing game. Slayers would need to prepare for wildly different threats depending on which region they're in, from sneaky attacks by deceit-driven demons to all-out assaults by those driven by rage. This scattered approach under Hantengu's rule would mean that while individual demons might be weaker due to lack of coordination, the overall effort needed to predict and counteract such a diverse range of threats could stretch the Demon Slayer core thinner than ever. They'd need to become not just fighters, but also psychologists, trying to understand and anticipate the next move of a split and unpredictable enemy. Up next, Akaza. The Upper Moon 3 doesn't doesn't really like weakness. His past is sad, involving a deep love story and a lot of fighting. He used to be a human who loved martial arts and needed to be strong to take care of his sick girlfriend. But when he became a demon to get even stronger, he lost all his human feelings and memories. If Akaza was the Demon King, he'd run things like a tough competition. Only the strongest demons would make it. He wouldn't care about finding the blue spider lily, a flower that could make demons invincible during the day. Instead, he'd focus all his energy on fighting the demon slayers with pure strength. This means under Akaza's rule, there wouldn't be as many demons, but the ones left would be really strong. They'd be so tough that every time the demon slayers fought them, it would be a serious battle. The demon slayers would have to be at their best all the time, and would need to come up with new moves and strategies just to keep up. With fewer but stronger demons, the fights between them and the slayers would be fierce and intense. Both sides would have to push themselves harder than ever, making each battle a huge deal where anything could happen. It would be a world where being strong is what matters most, and every day is about surviving and proving you're the toughest. Next in line is Douma, the Upper Moon 2, a true psychopath with a disturbing preference for consuming women, which he does under the guise of offering salvation. He's not just a powerful demon, but also a master manipulator, with a chilling charm that he uses to deceive and control others. His icy demeanor and ability to disassociate from his actions make him one of the most fearsome demons in the series. In a world where Douma rises to the top as the Demon King, he'd likely turn the whole demon realm into his personal cult. Imagine him using his charisma not just to attract followers, but to completely bind them to his will. He'd set up a system where his word is law, disguised as a kind of twisted sanctuary. Victims would come to him seeking refuge, only to find themselves part of his deadly harvest. Douma's reign would be all about control and deception. He might even see rivals like Akaza not just as threats, but as obstacles to his absolute rule. By eliminating such powerful competitors, Douma would ensure no one could challenge him. His rule would be stabilized through a combination of psychological warfare and strategic eliminations. With Douma at the helm, his manipulative tactics would extend beyond mere physical attacks. He would play mind games that spread fear and confusion, not just among potential victims, but within the ranks of the Demon Slayer Corps as well. Imagine Demon Slayers being unsure of whom to trust, as Douma's influence could turn neighbors into foes without a single blow being struck. The psychological impact would make Douma a uniquely challenging enemy. He wouldn't just confront the Demon Slayers on the battlefield, he'd invade their minds, planting seeds of doubt and terror that could paralyze even the bravest warriors. His presence would be like a dark cloud over the demon realm and human world alike, with his followers zealously carrying out his will, convinced they're part of a greater cause. Lastly, Kokushibo stands as the strongest of the Upper Moons, wielding unmatched sword skills that even the best of the Demon Slayer Corps fear. More intriguing, he was once a Demon Slayer himself, known in his human life as Michikatsu Tsugikuni, the twin brother of Yoriichi Tsugikuni, who's revered as perhaps the greatest swordsman of all time. This former hero turned into a formidable foe, using his extensive knowledge of Demon Slayer tactics against them. If Kokushibo ascended as the Demon King, he would implement a militaristic regime, leveraging his intimate understanding of how the Demon Slayers train, think, and fight. He wouldn't just attack randomly. Every move would be a calculated strike, designed to exploit the Slayer's weaknesses. Imagine a general who not only knows every tactic his enemy will use, but also how to turn those tactics against them. His search for the blue spider lily, which holds the key to allowing demons to walk in the sun, would be methodical and relentless. Kokushibo would likely organize search parties like military units, each tasked with finding leads on the elusive flower. His strategic approach would ensure that while some demons searched, others would create diversions and lead attacks to keep the Demon Slayers too busy to interfere effectively. The impact of Kokushibo's strategic prowess on the Demon Slayer Corps would be devastating. With his tactical moves, the demons would achieve several key victories, capturing important territories and perhaps even infiltrating the ranks of the Slayers themselves. Each victory under Kokushibo's command would not only demoralize the Demon Slayers, but also push them to rethink their strategies and possibly lead to desperation. This relentless pressure and series of defeats could force the Demon Slayer Corps to innovate rapidly or face extinction. They might have to develop new fighting techniques, forge stronger alliances, or even rethink their entire organizational structure just to hold their ground against Kokushibo's calculated assaults. His reign would truly test the limits of the Demon Slayer Corps, turning their struggle into a dire battle for survival against the foe who's always 2 steps ahead. And there you have it. So with each Upper Moon taking a crack at being the Demon King, things would definitely shake up between the demons and the Demon Slayers. Which Upper Moon do you think would rule the roost best? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you curious about the strongest characters in Demon Slayer? Well, that's the subject of this other video. Click on the link here to see this other cool anime video. Go ahead, click it.